U.S. Senate passed a $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, and another $3.5 trillion is waiting.
CDC reversed its stance on mask policy and incurs different reactions in different states.
The plight to defund the police is hitting California politicians in the gut. A retired senator was mugged in broad daylight, and Governor Newsom's wine store was assaulted for the third time.
Wrapped up in all of this is a lesson from not so distant history about the Black Panther Party.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wei and Kathy Show. I'm your host, Wei.
I'm Kathy.
Okay, welcome, Kathy, back to the studio.
All right,
so let's quickly jump into the news. First, again, we'll do the first portion of the program on the YouTube, and then at the same time, the same show is happening on the Safe Chat. And thank you for going to the Safe Chat, and our viewership is growing pretty strong over there. Yeah, thank you for your help, and remember to add our Twitter, and follow ourselves on the Safe Chat. If you have not installed it, please do so. Please install the app, Apple Store or Google Play. Search for Safe Chat, and our staff will also post the web link, and just go over there. All right, with no further ado, let's jump into the news today. First is a short news, but it's important. Okay, Federal Reserve actually today held their meeting, and the Wall Street was watching. It maintained the ultra-low interest rate and reconfirmed its commitment to other easy monetary policies. It's expected, but it's challenging because now we have this surging inflation that have everybody concerned. Naturally, it should have the Federal Reserve concerned, but after weighing things over, they still stay the course. They still just maintain the ultra low interest rate. It will be interesting to see what that would do to the economy, especially the inflation. And the second one is the rising COVID-19 infections has prompted the CDC, the Control for Disease and a Center for Disease and Control Center, to reinstate a select mask mandate. Actually, we'll have more about this a bit later. All right. So let me just jump into the Senate's today's passing a bill, which is this evening, a few hours ago, to move forward with a $1.2 trillion package to rebuild the country's crumbling infrastructure after a month of painstaking negotiation between the bipartisan groups of senators. So basically, there are 10 Republican senators and 10 Democrat senators. It's a bipartisan agenda. The reason why it can pass, the simple reason is the money largely comes from unused stimulus act related to the COVID-19 before. So those money were not used. So doesn't need to print new money. So they thought this easy. So it's easy to get the GOP's support. So anyway, that's not surprising. And among the $1.2 trillion, about half, a little less than half, $550 billion will be committed to the road and traditional type of infrastructure, and other things for the other things. But that's not the main topic today, okay? The main topic today, or everybody's watching, is for the next one, the $3.5 trillion. That is, that's looming. And that's mainly a Democratic Party's agenda. And the nickname, somebody called that bill a human infrastructure. It's not really the traditional infrastructure and the human infrastructure. So it has a lot of things to do with planned health and education, environment, and social program, and so on and so forth. Okay, which Democratic Party they are passionate about. So that one, of course, the 50 GOP senators all object, but you got another 50 Democratic senators plus the vice president. You can actually vote it to pass, because they're going to use this once in a year, the reconciliation process, to pass this with a simple majority. And what's more is that the DACA amnesty is also, just packaged into this $3.5 trillion package. And then GOP really object to that strongly. And then, for the House, the Pelosi said, Senate first, please. We will not act until Senate act. The reason is, okay, Pelosi, she has a majority. She has a simple majority. So if it passed the Senate, she's confident she will be able to pass this in the House. So she doesn't want to take this first. So on the Senate, and you think that it's going to be a certainty for this to pass. If it passes, it's a big deal. $3 trillion. What does that mean? That means the biggest ever spending bill of the U.S. policy. All right. So, however, Arizona Democratic Senator Sinema, she actually announced that she refused to support this. If indeed she persists to the end, then that bill won't work because they won't got 51 votes. So that one's still pending there in the air, and everybody's just still watching. A few weeks later, it will become more real, and we'll see how that would happen. All right, so the next news is about, let's go back to the CDC. All right, so basically the backdrop of the CDC policy changes, the U.S. has seen a 47% increase in the number of coronavirus cases reported over the last 7 days. All right, so actually just yesterday, CDC changed its mask guidance and in responses to the rise of the coronavirus cases. All right. So CDC specifically, it called for vaccinated people in high transmission areas to wear a mask indoors.
Right. So it triggered different reactions from different states. For example, in New York, Governor Andrew Cuomo announced today that he will mandate all state employees either get vaccinated or regularly tested. Same as in California, but for California, we're going to have some more details to share with you. But in some other states, especially some GOP governors, they pushed back and saying that their states won't be reimposing the mask mandate. For example, in Nebraska, the governor, Peter Rickett, he said that the CDC's new guidance suggesting that the vaccinated people wear masks indoor flies in the face of the public health goals that should guide the agency's decision making. And he said the state of Nebraska will not be adopting their mask guidance. And in South Dakota, Governor Kristi Noem wrote on Twitter that the CDC shifts its position again. South Dakota's cases remain low, so she just said, expressed that they will not be following that mandate. In Iowa, Governor Kim Reynolds, also a Republican, said the agency's latest update is not grounded in reality or common sense. And some other governors indicate that they have no desire to bring back the masks, including Texas Governor Abbott. And he just said every Texan has a right to choose whether they will wear a mask or have their children wear masks. So he will leave the decisions to individuals. So a bit more about California. So California, the Department of Public Health announced today that it recommends everyone do a mask while indoors, regardless whether he or she is vaccinated or not. Although it's not a mandate, but California became the first state this week to require all states and healthcare employees to provide proof of vaccination or be subject to weekly testing. So actually, in California, the vaccination rate is pretty high as above about 75%. However, actually, a statewide data analyzed by Bay Area News Group found that actually in California, 5 counties which had both a higher percentage of people who are fully vaccinated than the state average and a higher average daily case rate. Okay, Wade, did you notice that? So 5 counties in California: Los Angeles, San Diego, Alameda County, Contra Costa County, and San Francisco. The latter 3 are in Northern California, where we live. So they have the highest rate of vaccination, but also have a higher average daily case right now. So comparing to other 5 counties, Modoc, Glenn, Lassen, Del Norte, and San Benito have below average vaccination rates and decreased case rates. So, how to explain that, right? It seems on the math, on the data, it's pretty simple. However, some of California's infectious disease experts are explaining in a different way, saying that it doesn't mean, the data doesn't mean vaccination, it doesn't work. Okay, so their explanation is that because the 5 counties with a high vaccination rates and a high daily case rates, because they are more population concentrated. The 5 low rates counties have less condensed population. But one thing I think people don't understand is that they are not talking about the absolute numbers, about rates. So for rates, it should be, comparable, right? So that's something I think is make people still puzzling about that.
Yeah. So as we're watching here, and for those of you, I just want to say, Luis Fernandez. Okay, this is our old friend. Have you come over to the Safe Chat or not? All the good friend here, and Ruth and Daniel. And okay, so just remember.
Yeah, I'm glad Luis made it. He actually sent a message on the Safe Chat saying that he's missed a few of our live shows for some reason. So glad that Luis made it this time.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, as we are talking here, and thank you for all those those of you who come here. And I was checking this show. It has 14 minutes. It's already been marked as not suitable for advertisers. I have no idea why. Yeah.
Okay.
So we're talking about the Federal Reserve's decision. We talk about, the Congress's infrastructure bill. We talk about the CDC. So what round did we talk about? As a journalist with the 20 years experience, we've been just doing the things as we did before, as we have been doing before, but we are marked as not fit for advertisers.
Yeah, see, that's why we are, also doing the live shows on WeChat and doing more on there. It's not like
not WeChat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Safe Chat.
Safe Chat. Excuse me.
WeChat
Safe
is
Chat.
CCP's China's chat. Okay.
Right. Safe Chat is exactly opposite of the WeChat. Yeah. Anyway. So that's why some of our audience were saying, oh, are you afraid of talking about something? It's not that we are afraid. You can see that what we just talked about for the past 15 minutes, right? All the facts, numbers, and nothing really
not even
sensitive.
Commentary.
Right, not even commentary, but we have been marked not suitable for ads. So it's very puzzling, but we have to seek for alternatives, and that's a free market which can offer, right?
Okay, so the next topic actually is very interesting. Okay, we're talking about something that's happening in the Oakland. Oakland is an interesting city, which we'll drill in a little bit in the next 20 minutes, and then we're talking about what's happening in the Wild West and how that related to 50 years ago. So I think it will be very, very revealing to understand what is happening today, and also in contrast with what happened in the 1960s.
Yeah, and actually, I'm gonna just talk a little bit about my experience during the trip
into the Washington D.C.
Yeah, back from Washington D.C.
Okay.
So I would like to share with you when we start our,
second part of the show.
Yes.
All right, so guys, please come over to the Safe Chat, and we are posting our staff. Please post the link again, and please follow our Twitter. I know it's not the best platform, but we can reach out to people there, and we can send short message and so on and so forth. Okay, please post the link over there, and just click on that. And then as soon as I see a click, I think we can move over there. And
I also need the link to click over there.
You do. Let me see. We're not seeing that yet. Okay. So
yeah, can we post the link of the show on Safe Chat?
Yeah. So I'm just asking our staff who would be doing this, and then after that, you guys know where to go. So that just bear with us a little bit, And okay, it's there. All right, so let's go. Let's say 1, 2, 3, go together. Okay, 1,